Application, Rockstar Foods Limited, doing business as Thresher, Christopher Willis, manager, has applied to transfer the all alcoholic beverages restaurant license currently held by Shiv Incorporated, doing business as India Castle, from Hinder Bodwell, manager, at 924-928 Mass Ave. The applicant is applying for an alteration of license premise description. Proposed hours of operation are 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days per week, with a seating capacity of 85.
Good evening.
Hi.
Could each of you state your name and spell your name for the stenographer, please?
Sure. Christopher Willis, Chrisstopher. Willis, Willis.
And Pamela, Pamela, last name Willis, Willis.
Lesley, Lesley, St, St, Germain, Germain.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Chairman, members of the Commission, Lesley St. Germain with McDermott, Quilty Miller. Before you today seeking a transfer of the license, as you noted, to continue to be operated at 928 Massachusetts Avenue. With me are the applicants, each owning half of the licensee, the proposed licensee entity, Christopher Willis and Pamela Willis. Christopher is also the proposed manager of record, and I'll get into his experience in just a moment. I have with me the abutters notification. So what we're seeking to operate is a new American style restaurant with an emphasis on Italian cuisine. We are seeking to open a restaurant that would appeal to the neighborhood. It would kind of be able to provide a fine dining or a rustic fine dining experience in a more accessible, kind of less stuffy atmosphere. They would be seeking to operate 7 days a week, serving dinner beginning at 5:30 p.m. with a closing hour of 1 a.m.
So if I could interrupt for a second.
Certainly.
I believe on the application, lunch was checked off, but the hours requested were 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So is lunch
At this
being
point,
considered?
at this point, we do not plan to open with lunch. We
Okay.
expect that in potentially 6 months, we would come back to the board seeking the opportunity to open for brunch on the weekends.
So at this
But at
time,
this
you're
time-
not seeking lunch?
At this time, we are not seeking lunch.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
No, of course. As I noted, we're seeking to open a neighborhood restaurant. Chris and Pam are actually going to be moving into the neighborhood. They've lived in Cambridge previously, which is one of the reasons why they chose this specific location. And they're actually renovating a house at 318 Harvard. So they're going to be right down the street. And in addition to seeking to operate a successful business, they really want to, that business in both that respect and personally, invest in this community and be a really positive aspect of the community. As far as Chris's experience as manager of record, he has over 10 years experience in the restaurant industry and specifically in fine dining. He's worked in a number of capacities in places such as Clio and Rialto and has experience managing. He worked in a managerial capacity for 2 years at a restaurant on Nantucket. He is familiar with all of the regulations of both the Commonwealth and of the city of Cambridge. Pam, who will also obviously be working there, also has significant experience in the restaurant industry in her own right.
Did those restaurants have alcohol, all alcohol licenses?
The Sfolia, where I was a manager, had just beer and wine. I've worked in other capacities at restaurants with full liquor, but I have not actually managed a restaurant with full liquor.
Okay.
But you were manager of record for the beer and wine license, right?
He was not manager of record, but
Okay.
he was operating in a managerial capacity.
Oh, okay.
I believe if the commission has any questions, that's the summary of what we're seeking. We anticipate this being a successful operation. Obviously, we do see a need for this sort of establishment in the neighborhood. And we're hopeful and excited to join the community.
And you're looking to purchase an existing all alcohol license at that address?
Yes, the license will be remaining at the address, and we have entered into a purchase and sale agreement with the existing owner.
How much renovations are you going to be doing?
We'll be doing mostly design work for 3 to 4 months.
Mhm.
Nothing structural.
Moving the bar.
Removing the bar,
Mhm.
doing, mostly just decorative changes.
What about the kitchen?
Kitchen, yes, and the kitchen.
You gonna be doing the kitchen or?
We are redoing the kitchen, yes. To the extent that we'll be taking out all the existing equipment, and we'll be changing the position of the vent a few feet towards the center of the room.
And as far as capacity, we're actually going to be reducing the capacity. What's requested is a seating capacity of 85, and I believe the current licensee has a capacity of 99.
Okay. Is any member of the public here to speak on this? None? Further questions?
So, is the kitchen going to be a replacement, or is it going to be, you're going to get into the hood, so you're going to get into that new hood ordinance and relationship. Do you have a fryer later as well?
We do have a fry layer,
Okay.
yes, but it's a relatively small one. That's not a
Just
big
you have to be
emphasis
cautious
on
of the regulations on the hood venting.
Okay.
That's in the past 5 or 6 years
that. Okay.
when we're doing that work.
We have Harbor Foods who's going to be sort of spearheading the whole kitchen renovation. So I think they're pretty good on that.
What's your expected construction time?
So we're optimistically hoping to wrap things up in 3 to 4 months, barring no really unforeseen conditions.
And was your previous experience a lot of Italian cuisine, or?
It was, when I was a manager, I was cooking rustic Italian food, which is essentially what we're going to be doing, sort of with some American accents.
Further questions?
Anything from the executive director?
Yes, actually, I did not see a business certificate in the packet that was sent over. And India Castle's going to have to get an updated certificate of good standing. It's outdated. The backgrounds are fine.
So the meat manager would have to do the tips training,
21 proof.
21 proof.
There is a copy of the certificate.
Let's see, this is what I have. That's the original.
Yeah, we have copies.
Okay, just making sure.
Nothing further? No. Okay. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve Rockstar Foods Limited DBA Thresher, Christopher Willis, manager, for the address of 924 to 928 Mass Ave, seating capacity of 85 with operating hours from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week,
Did you say 5 p.m. or 5:30?
5 p.m.
Yeah, but I thought you said 5:30 to 1, or did you say 5?
Chris, 5?
5 o'clock, yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3 to nothing.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks.